When is being an aggressive NASCAR driver too aggressive? Is it too aggressive or just driving beyond their ability? 2023 is starting off a lot like 2022 year. Ross Chastain driving over his competitors, and of all the drivers to turn in the 2023 Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum, he took out Denny Hamlin. Ross Chastain bounced from second and third tier teams in the NASCAR Xfinity and Cup Series for years. He had a break when in 2019 he landed the Ganassi Xfinity ride. Unfortunately for him, Ganassi lost its sponsor DC Solar, who was under federal investigation. This was weeks before the Daytona 500. This left Chastain to a fill-in situation as the rides were set. Things started looking up for Chastain when he landed the number 10 ride for Colleague Racing in 2020. He had a good ride on 2020 and finished 7th on the points. This led to Chastain landing the number 42 ride back at Chip Ganassi Racing. This was the prize, where he was to land after running the Xfinity car for Ganassi. He was right where he needed to be until Ganassi reveals he has sold the team to startup Trackhouse Racing and former driver Justin Marks. Ross was hired to drive the number 1 car for Trackhouse. He was joined by Daniel Suarez in the 99 car. Both drivers and Trackhouse scoring their first wins in 2022. Ross won the race at the Circuit of the Americas. It was a hard-fought win, but this was just the first sign of the aggressive driving Chastain exhibited on 2022. He raced AJ Allmendinger and Alex Bowman, hard running them both off the track to secure his first Cup Series win. A month later, Ross won again in Talladega. Ross finished 22nd at the 2022 All-Star race after colliding with Kyle Busch, going airborne, and taking Chase Elliott out of the race. At Gateway International, Ross clashed with Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott, now for a second time. Early in the race, Ross spun out Denny Hamlin. Shortly after, Denny ran interference on the track, slowing Ross to a lower than average speed. NASCAR put an end to this as this was a danger to the other cars on the track. Not much later in the race, Ross spun Chase Elliott. On the restart, Chase chased Chastain up the track, and here comes Hamlin passing Chastain, showing his unhappiness with Chastain. Chastain accepted fault here, stating, "I just drove over my head so many times." This was not the last on-track encounter between Chastain and Hamlin. While running in 5th position in Atlanta, Hamlin was spin out and fell to the back of the field. This resulted in Chastain being out on Denny Hamlin's list. In Indy, running the road course, Ross finished 2nd, but was credited with a 27th position after being penalized for running off the course, making his out track. There were many complaints by the top-tier drivers in the Cup Series of the aggressive driving by Chastain. In reality, how was this any different from what Dale Earnhardt, Darrell Waltrip, or Ernie Irvan? It really isn't very different, just a different time in the sport. There was a lot of speculation that there would be retaliation against Chastain in the playoffs. Amazingly, there wasn't. We shall see what happens in 2023.